Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. We are gonna trying to learn here like Saviynt, right? What does this exactly mean? Saviynt, and some people used to call it like EIC. But I used to call it as this is a ID. Some people also used to call it as a IAM. What does it mean exactly? This is like Enterprise Identity Cloud Identity Management. Some people call it Identity and Access Management. When we talk about it, like everywhere this is enterprise identity. You come, you see there is a common, I here right. Even here this is I and here this is I also present. What does it mean actually? It's all telling about it, managing identity. Managing identity. You're in your case, right? What you consider as identity for you, like this Ruti or June or whoever is. If I ask you like what is your identity, you will tell my name is Shriti. Then I would ask you like to group, right? What is the proof you have your name? Is I Shriti? You would show me PAN card, right? Or like other card. You guys agree with me, right? Like then this identity, if you talk about like what is the identity use of in your Saviynt? Basically Saviynt, it's a framework or a tool. You can say this is a pre-built tool Saviynt. It is used to manage identity lifecycle. Identity lifecycle of users. When I talk about managing the identity lifecycle of users, there is various scenario came into picture, right? Managing the identity lifecycle of a user. What are the identity lifecycle of user? Basically, when the user is getting created, or you can say user is getting onboarded, right? This is a life cycle. User is getting onboarded time to time. User is getting transferred, right? And one day the user or the employee will switch the job. He will move out. This is a normal life cycle of a user or employee or anybody, you can say even you and me. In everybody life it happens, right? You joined a company, then you got a transfer or you moved out to different department, and after some time, let's say 3 or 4 years or 2 years, you are going to move out from the company. You will be getting a new job or you will be switching a job. That's it. You know human tendency, nature, what is the relevant, or why civilian it is related to this, right? Let's understand few things here. When you're talking about managing the identity lifecycle of user, imagine a scenario, right? Let's say you guys got an offer from a company. Let's say the company name is Accenture. Before getting the offer letter, what is the procedure there? You guys are submitting your resume. HR is reviewing your resume, then they will give you a call back and the interview will happen. Once the interview process is that you got selected and you got a package and you are joining the company. You join finally Accenture, right? Once you join the company, right, you will have submitted a lot of number of document, right? Like your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your ad base, and some of those your certificate like qualification, education certificate. You submit those things. Once you submit those things, right, your Accenture HR guy, he or she is going to create your account in their database, right? They will create your user in their database, right? Once your user is getting created here, from that day you are a part of the Accenture. You are an employee for Accenture. There is a lot of chance that if you do some courses or if you want to switch the job inside the company, you can get a different role. That is a possibility, right? And that possibility is there. And once you got a different opportunity, you move to a different department, right? If you feel like you have spent a lot of time here, like 3 to 4 years, right? You are then gonna move out from the company, right? Guys, you are getting my point, right? What I mean? Janash. Yes, this is a layman term. What I am talking about, this is a layman scenario where day-to-day life basis it used to happen. Including this thing, when it came to Saviynt, I added a point. Saviynt is used to manage the life cycle of a user or an employee. You can see how this is coming to picture. We will just try to enter here. Let's say keep this point in mind, right? Just assume this Accenture company had a good project. Let's say this Accenture company got a good project. That project name is JRocks. This JRocks project has a requirement of more than 150 people or more than 150 employee. They need to join this project. Employee. What Accenture is going to do? The same procedure. They will take the interview. Thousands of candidates. Finally, they'll be selecting 150 user. This 150 user, right? They are going to put those things into their database. Correct me, right? Because this 150 users should be get onboarded to Accenture database. Just for you know, because you are going to be part of the Accenture employee, this somewhere should store your data, right? How you will get the employee card and how you will get the access to the company portal. Everything you will be getting, right? There is a procedure. What they are going to do, they will feed all your data in their database. Let's say the database name is HRMS. In the HRMS database, they store all this 150 users record. Each user carry like your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your certificate, educational qualification certificate, your address book, everything you are going to store. This is for each individual user. Like that, they store here for 150 user, right? This HRMS database, they put you all the details, right? Everybody got a notification that in this day, right? Or let's say after 10 days, you will be joining the company. You got the offer letter. They, generated the offer letter. They store all the data. In the first day of your company, when you are, will onward or you will join the company in the first day, Accenture people will make sure by default everybody who joined the company, they will get access to email, right? Email. Like we have personal Gmail. Company also used to have their corporate email. That email you can say you will get by default access to Outlook, right? All this 150 user, right? Then you will get access to this Accenture, their internal portal. Internet portal. You will get access to this application and you will also get access to timesheet. If you would have heard, because you guys are, a little experience, right? You have previous experience. You will get access to timesheet because every day you will be filling the timesheet for your logging hour. That is going to give you the salary. You got access to Outlook, you got access to internal portal, you got access to timesheet, and every employee should get access, must get access to their HR portal where you can view your salary structure, right? That is they used to call some HR portal. These, let's assume this for application. Everybody should get right, whether you or me, whenever, wherever you joined. This is your basic right. You can see how in India, if you burn or your basic right is you will get Aadhaar card, you will get a PAN card, you will get a birth certificate, right? Nobody can stop you to get that. Same way, if you join a company, you are going to get this Outlook, this internal portal, this timesheet and HR portal. But let me tell you one thing out of this one trip user for a single user, also how this account are getting created. Let's say this HR Accenture HR person, they are going to inform this Outlook admin. For each and every application, there will be admin person, right? For Outlook, there will be admin who is maintaining this Outlook part and internal portal. There will be another admin. Because one person cannot handle everything. One person doesn't have all the knowledge, right? For Outlook, there will be admin person, internal portal, there will be another admin person. And for timesheet, there will be another admin person. And for HR portal, there will be another admin person. When this 150 user join Accenture, for each and every person, HR is going to inform these 4 admin per boss. We have a 50 user or 150 employee who got onboarded. You need to create their account. Because those guys will be joining like June 1st. You have in your hand another 7 days. These guys, by hook or group, they are going to create your account in Outlook, in internet portal, in timesheet, in HR portal, right? You agree with me, guys? For this 150 user AR person, inform to this all these 4 admin guys. Let's say they called and they tell we have 150 employees who are getting onboarded and their joining date is June 1st, 2023. You have to create their account in this. For creating an account, what is this procedure? This HR guy, this Outlook guy, this internet portal, and this timesheet and HR portal, all these admin guys, they will reach out to admin and they will ask boss, send us the detail of the 150 user. What this HR guy will do, They will email all these 4 admin person with all these 150 users details, right? For each person, they are going to mail their Aadhaar card number, their bank card number, their address proof, and their educational details, right? After providing all this detail, right, this Outlook guy, all this guy, right, one by one, they will be entering the data here, right? Then only the Outlook and all this portal are going to be created. Imagine if the company like Accenture, they have, I believe, more than 3 lakhs employee, right, in their database. Each time, a lot of people are joining the company, and the HR is again informing to this Outlook guy all this data, creating the manual. Don't you think this is a tedious task for them? And human tendency is, if you do manual work, you made a lot of mistake. That is a normal human tendency. It happened for everyone, right? If you do a mess fail or something goes wrong, right? And it is not only about joining of the organization. Every day many people or many employees, they are joining Accenture. Then also people are there. They are every day also leaving the company. Let's say out of this 150 user, right, 89 user, or like whatever the number, like 10 user, they leave the company. They put down the paper because they don't feel good here, or they got another opportunity of a good amount or a good company. They put down the paper. What again happened? As usual, right? HR will conduct a meeting with all the members. They try to repent them. If this 10 employee doesn't agree, finally HR has to release them. How the release procedure will happen? They will, ask the employee to fill some form like exit form. Once this form is fitted, employee will sign up there and HR will sign up this form. And again, this form HR is going to send to all 4 admin guys. Right? Why they are sending? Because their access should be revoked now. Right? It should be deleted. Otherwise, this 10 employee, right, they will have access to this portal. They can do any malfunction here, right? Every day this Outlook guy or this admin guy, they're creating a lot of future. Also, they're deleting a lot of future. In case, right, just assume this guy, Outlook guy, he forgot to visible one of the account out of this 10. What would happen that time? He'd assume this record is no more exist. Like let's say that person name is something Adam. Adam already left the company Accenture, but still he has access to Outlook. But this is not known, or he forgot to delete his account. What will happen now? Adam can do any malfunction to the company. He can store the data. He can sell the data to other company, like what is the right name or what is the email ID. He also use this account. He can use this account to do piecing, right? Or you can say he can do some kind of threatening to the company. Or you can say he can do some virus attack to the company through some illegal activity. That is also possible, right? Here, definitely it is a company reputation and company losses that happen. This kind of malicious activity, this wouldn't be there. But what happened? Because of all this tedious manual work, this person forgot to delete his account. This is how it was happening when there is Saviynt was not there. Saviynt was not there. Even SailPoint was not there. OM was not there. This is out of identity access management world. right? This is a normal convention process. You can say legacy process when cybersecurity or like say identity access management was not invented. The life was like this before. And imagine how much difficult was life here, right? What we learned from here? Three things. You got one thing here, right? This is all about your lifecycle management of your user without Saviynt. 4 point we consumed. We came to the conclusion point. Lifecycle management without Saviynt. Right. Without Saviynt lifecycle management, right? All manual work we are doing. Manual work. First thing. Second thing, lack of security. Because you saw admin guy forgot to deal to one account. Right. There is a lack of security. There is a lack of this LCM lifecycle management rate without Saviynt how it happened. Manual work we are doing. Lack of security. Also what happened? That guy's lack of auditors. Right. We don't have auditing system here. We do not have auditing system. Auditing system. What does it mean? Auditing system. Still you have a guy that name is Adam. He has access to access but nobody knows about it, right? They cannot identify it unless there is an audit happened, right? That audit going to happen, like it is not every day, it is happening. Company used to conduct the audit in a month or in a quarter. Lewis is already in the business. But what happened till that quarter audit happened? Any malicious activity can happen to the company, right? There is a lack of auditing system. These are some of the major funda. You can see what is happening without Saviynt. There is no Saviynt in picture. Right. Up to this. Any doubt, guys? I think before Saviynt also there were some of the security systems. Right? I am talking about simulation of Saviynt. Not exactly Saviynt. Before Saviynt we had Oracle Identity Manager. Before Oracle Identity Manager we had one identity, which is the basic of the company we started. Before our OIM and SailPoint, they started in the same phase, but OIM got popular, right? And after that, now in the market we have PinkFade, we have Saviynt, we have many more. We have Omada, right? But the story came into the picture, right? OIM, it is not actually Oracle invented. Oracle acquired some company, right? That company, like Accelerator, something was there, the name. There is a behind story, will come to the picture, no worries, right? I'm just talking about when there is no Saviynt means no cybersecurity or no identity access management. It was not there. This is the picture what happened. There is no EIC tool or Saviynt tool. Right? Now let's have a look how we can implement the oldest scenario or the previous scenario with Saviynt. Let's assume we have Saviynt in the picture now. What will happen now? Same. Let's consider the same picture in the market. The same company name like Accenture. Right. I'm just repeating the thing, Accenture company. They got a project. The project name is like say Xerox. This Xerox company. Right. They had the requirement they need for the Xerox 450 employee. This 150 employee for this Accenture started interviewing people. They interviewed more than 150, obviously, because they had to choose the good candidate. And after interviewing a lot of candidates, finally they selected 150 employees. This 150 employees, they have to submit their data like Aadhaar card, PAN card. There are educational details and address book. All these 150 employees submit their data. This HR guy, what he can do, he will store all these 150 records in his HRMS database. Right? They store all the same information in the MS tool. Right? This HRMS tool is nothing but like a database or some different kind of, storing mechanism. Or, you can say it's activated, anything it can be. Manoj, just a question here. When I mean for the first time, when a user, I mean an employee, joins the company, there should be someone who is entering the data into the system, right? That is the manual step that we cannot avoid, right? Of course, you cannot avoid. That's what I'm telling. Somebody behind the HR is there who is going to store your data here. At some point of time, there will be, let's say, at least there will be some manual work. But what if there actually, if you can reduce the number from 100 to 1, if you want to drive a vehicle, right, whether it is a car or a bike or an airplane. Let's say you are traveling to America or USA from India, at least you have to go by work. Some state will be there to enter the plane for that time of actually consuming some time. Actually, there is a manual working board, but from after that moment, it is taking only 2 to 3 or 4 hours to journey to any other cities with the airplane. But some state will be there, you are doing a manual entry to the flight that will be there. That is, nothing can be avoided, right? But the number we are reducing, if you go by work, it will take, actually a lot of time. Instead of that, we are traveling by plane. There will be little work will be there from that distance, right? From the cab, from the flight, what is called actually that up to the flight you have to go by working, right? That's typically there every query. That's what I'm telling here. Our person, right? Some person will be there. They will be entering your data here. All this 150 records for each and every person. They store the Aadhaar card, the PAN card, and every detail they store here. After storing here, right, our Saviynt comes into the picture. All the old scenario, it will get covered by your Saviynt. How it is covered? Let me explain it. This HMS, they store the data in the HMS, right? From here, Saviynt is telling boss, your work is done. Now you have entered your data in the HRMS. Let me pick from here. As I suggested HR earlier, they used to inform the Outlook team, right? To create their Outlook account for this 150 employees, this HR guy they were informing, we had another 3 applications, right? Let's say like their company portal, right? They are also informing to create their account here, and for HRMMs or HR application where you can view your salary structure, everything, right? They're also informing you to create the account here and your time set applications, right? Time set application. Earlier this HR was informing all this for India. Now what will happen when this 150 user got onboarded, right? Saviynt come into picture. What Saviynt will do now? Saviynt ask boss, you just need to enter the data in your HMS system and forget about everything. From here, Saviynt will manage everything. Saviynt will take the data from the H&Ms, right? Once the data is taken from the Saviynt, it is going to store the data inside Saviynt. And it is not a manual process. It is automated process. Saviynt, it is storing all this 150 record here, right? After storing the record in the Saviynt database, Saviynt is going to create their account in the Outlook directly. Saviynt is going to create their account in the company portal directly, and Saviynt is going to create the HR portal directly and in the SetTime application directly. This admin guy, he need not to create the account here manually. Everything will be taken care by the Saviynt. What will happen if the Saviynt is creating the data? See, there is a transparency happen. All this 150 user came to the Saviynt and here without any single error. All the data will go to Outlook. Zero error. And same also for company portal, manager portal and time set. All their account going to create it directly here. We created the account. What, let's say out of 150 user, there is a person name, say like in a silo, she got married and her last name got changed, right? Those update also came to the Saviynt portal. And from here to this, all those 4 application, her last name will get it in the same way and it will get updated here, here, here and here. We are avoiding a lot of manual work here. In the first thing, Saviynt is managing all this. Users here. They are creating the account first day when any update is coming here. Saviynt is updating their record in all this application. That is the second thing. Let's say out of this 150 user, 10 user decided to leave the company. They got another offer. This 10 user, what will happen again? This HR person, right? They will discuss with this individual person and they will try to understand their, problem and all. But this 10 users stick to the things that they're going to put on the paper. HR employee, they are going to sign up this record. And once they sign up this record out of this 150 user, 10 user status will change from active to visible or inactive in the Saviynt. And they got terminated and those 10 recorded will populate it to Saviynt. Now for this 10 user again, Saviynt will automatically, they will delete their account in Active Directory. Sorry Outlook, in company portal, in HR portal, in timesheet portal. This automatically. Deletion also got happen. Let's say now the 10 user got terminated, right? Now we have, let's say out of this 140 employee, right, 5 employee, right, got permission because of their performance. And what about the permission? If they got the permission, they will get, different like department, right? This 5 employee got a new different 5. This 5 employee got a new different department. After getting the permission, they should get, access to some of the new application. Let's say some got permission to manage the real application, right? Those applications, they got access and their designation also got changed. These updates should also flow to all this application, right? What will happen again? This permission data will be fitted here in the HR portal for this 5 employee. And those data will flow to Saviynt, and again Saviynt will update their AU data also here, as well as Saviynt will create the account in the manager portal who got promoted to the manager role. This is just examples of a Saviynt managing, right? Here we came to know about the two things we deal with the user, right? We deal with the application for application, right? Basically, why this for application? This for application, it is just to manage this user, right? If you consider it depthly, we are managing the user here like 150 employee. In the real time, it might be 1.5 plus employee. Company also has this record, right? It's not a big surprise. A company like Microsoft and other companies, they have a lot of employees. Here Saviynt is managing the user lifecycle of the user lifecycle like scenario of the user from end to end. People are joining the organization, they are getting promoted. All this data are coming here when people are leaving the company. Those data also, from here to here it is getting updated. These are the happening. And here we talk about what is the benefit we are getting. Right? Manual work is completely gone after the data come to Saviynt, right? It is only the HR person who are feeding their data in the manual thing. That is the first day, right? Because first day only there will be huge work, but later on when any single update come, that's less work. HR is going to feed the data from here, and after that Saviynt is managing the tool automatically. If any new user is coming, they are getting onboarded and they are getting access to this company application. And if anyone getting promotion, their data also getting updated. And in the level scenario, right, whenever any employee is leaving the company, those information also getting updated here. We got like a completely manual work is gone, and we have made it to the employee onboarded automated process. Along with that, we have security mechanism, right? There is no chances of forgetting any account deletion because it will happen by your Saviynt. There will be no malfunctions or orphan account will not be there. Immediately when any employee is getting terminated, their account will get deleted from here. We got a security benefit. Along with that, let's say here every work is going well. Now there is a person, let's say, right, Adam, who has recently promoted to as a manager. Under Adam 20 employee reporting. Adam want to know this 20 employee, right? Which access the carry? Basically, this 20 employee has access to what application he just want to check for what role they have, right? He cannot go and search each and every user. What is their access? He just need a report. He asked for a report. I need who is reporting me their access in each application and each my company in Accenture. What access they got carry? That kind of information, it is asked by the manager that time. Simply we can generate a report, right? That is called certification. This certification, it will be called as a user manager certification. All this 20 user manager will get a certification notification. In that certification, he can view each and every person has access to what kind of thing. We got another benefit of certification. In the certification, each and every manager will review their peer access or their, reporting access. Who is reporting them and what access they carry. That is necessary, right? Sometime what happen, a person or employee can have conflicting access. Let's say a scenario where Adam is an employee. He has access to HR portal. In the HR portal, Adam job duty is to, create invoice bill for each and every employee. Let's say Arjun is there. Arjun getting some salary, right, in the company. This salary report every month, including the night seat, his sick leave or whatever, blah 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 thing. Calculating that Adam is preparing the report, like he should get the salary for this month, this much of amount. Every month, this Adam responsibility is to create invoice for each and every employee. His ability is to do only create invoice, not to approve it. It will be approved by a different person. Let's say the person is something like, like Kevin. Kevin is approving all this invoice. This two person, they are in a different zone or a different thing. But let's say Adam got a promotion and he got access to approving the invoice. And he leave the place of, creating invoice. But Adam has still access to creating invoice and approving invoice. Both the things he have the access now. What will happen in this situation? He can himself draw the salary, any amount he can, want, and he can approve himself. That's a biggest loss to the company, right? How it is happening? If you remember in your earlier days, like Satyam, those company like, they got, money laundering cases. And they lost a huge amount because some of the auditing malfunction process. Where a person, if have access for Adam, he can create an invoice and he can approve the invoice. This is a violation, right? This is a violation. You shouldn't be there, this access. To avoid this kind of scenario, right? Saviynt will help you, right? Saviynt will help you to create an invoice and approve the invoice. That is called, we have a story, segregation of duties. It is basically prevent you, right? If anybody has any access or if already the access is there, it can identify and it can delete the access. Let's say you shouldn't be part of create. You should be part of approval. It will create your access in the create. It will delete your access in the create invoice. This is the benefit of Saviynt. Saviynt also can perform the segregation of duty violation thing. It can also perform. Right. And let's say another thing in this company, right? HR buddy asked like last month, I made you join 150 employees. And I just wanted to know all this 150 employee. They have access to what application and what zone and what role for each. Every information data is asked by the HR person. This report also can be generated in the Saviynt. It can simply go to analytic model in analytic model. You can write a query. That query will give you the will format a result like a table format, anything, right? All the 150 record data that will give you. We also have this benefit, right? We came to know a lot of benefit about, using the Saviynt, right? First benefit was we are managing the lifecycle management of the user, like joiner scenario when the employee joining the company, movers scenario like when the employees moving to different department and leave, a scenario when the user is leaving the company. We also got benefit of certification, right? We talk about the certification. The certification involved, it can review the access, right? Certification, it can review the access of employee for manager. Let's say if you are a manager, under you there is 20 or 30 employee reporting to you. Each and every employee, what access to hard application they have, you can review, that is through certification. And we talk about a Saudi violation, right? We can also identify that if a person like Adam, they have access, he has access to creating invoice and approving of invoice, right? That also we can detect it. And that is possible by through your Saudi violation. We'll talk more about also learning what is a Saudi violation. And we talk about generating analytic report. This analytic report will help you to prepare a report in your company. If people had inactive employee, if they had access to any application or not, that is also a malicious thing, right? An employee already leave the company, but he has access to many applications that shouldn't be there. Those things also we can capture it under an analytic report, right? These are the many benefits of using Saviynt. Saviynt also has a lot of things, including these things. We have, we have your Saudi, we have your analytic, right? We have your attestation, that's your certification. Everything is there. We'll go everything one by one, the things once we go through the topic. And it is not the directly. I'll let you know about what is analytic. You know what is certification. That will not give you a good understanding. The understanding will happen, right? In a context, let's say in a context means I will be right. You saw here, I saw you right. We employer getting like Outlook application access, employer getting HR portal application access, HR employer getting access to time state application, right? We'll simulate some of this application. We'll be integrating a database application. Database application will be integrating an Active Directory application. We'll be integrating a service application, and for this three application, we'll manage the life cycle of the employee or user. Including this lifecycle management, when the employee joining will check, when the employees move, when the employee is leaving, the organization will see. And on top of this three application, we'll see how we can perform the SOD violation, how we can perform the certification, how we can perform the analytic report, right? How we can manage the request. Basically, sometime what happened, some of the application will be there. In this, you don't get any direct access. You have to request for those access, right? It is not a birthright. It is not for everybody. Those ARs request also will check how we are. We can request the application, how it is getting approved, how we can view the status of this request. How we can request for other also, right? Those options also will view covering to that and how this process is getting automated. I told you, when an employee is joining a company, they are getting directly access to Outlook, directly getting access to HR portal, directly getting access to technical without any request, because this was their day one access. How these access are given. We'll also see this is possible through your policies, right? Those also will view. And not many more things are there, right? We'll be trying to cover each and every aspect, what is possible for you and what is required to understand. As you are new to this domain, we'll covering all this topic one by one. Now it is up to you. It's your part. Any question, guys, here? From the tool perspective, you will be covering each and every option available in HR. Yes, I'll be covering any. All the topics, whatever is happening here. This is the most late thing will be working in the admin. Because this admin, it is related to all this topic. I think you know it. Have to refresh it. Any other question? I'll be covering this ARS model. Yesterday we talked about segregation of duty. This role model will talk about how we can deal with the role, right? This role is something different, right? This is for role mining. We'll also talk about what is a role mining. Those information, all those things will cover it up. And you have many more things. Let me show you. When I talk about managing user, right? It is not only managing the user, it is also managing their users, their account, their entitlement, their roles, right? Which group they are assigning, what is a security system, what is connection, what is your organization, right? What is a technical role, what is user update rule. You can ignore these two things, such as it is a deprecator. Now it is not in use. What is global configuration? SMP email attestation. This attestation, again, it moved to here, right? Same thing. You can talk. I'll talk also about what is the salient role. What is the request map? What is job control panel? What is available here? What is a workflow? How this workflow is up. The main thing I talked about, I forgot to told you, right? I told you this, you are getting access to Outlook, HR portal and timesheet. Let's say you have another application that is called Active Directory, and this is to get some directory information, and this is not birthright. You are not getting by default. You have to request it. But what happened if I directly go and access for this application and I get the access? This is a violation, right? No, it shouldn't be that way. If you request for application first, it should go to your manager approval, right? Manager will decide if this person, Adam, he required really this application or not, right? If manager approved, right? This Active Directory owner, he'll see it is approved by the manager. That means it is required for Adam and he will give the access, right? This is most the thing, and it is. Every organization is there for every and each of each request. What is request based? That should be get approved by the manager itself. And that will be checking in the workflow list of workflow approval how it is covered. And this is your admin function. We'll talk about, there is also another thing, application log. Data analyzer that is not there will also come up with that. If it is not here, I'll show you, don't worry. I'll show everything, and this OAuth mechanism, you can forget it about. This is related to your system, and it is, it's not in your work. We'll be covering 99% of the things: how we can create a report, how we can, generate analytic report, how we can do a certification, how we can, do the row mining, how we can do the SOD thing like for a violation, how we can also generate a request, or how we can make approval of a request. Here you don't see anything because it is not enabled. If I enable some of the things like Sabro, like we go, and because I'm an admin here, I can choose the option here. I should be able to request access for other. I should be able to request view for other right. Whoever access to OAuth, because I'm an admin, I'm all in, alright. I also should be able to request multiple access for other. I should also, see, I can also update user requests if it is possible, right? I can also able to request interface also. All this thing also, we'll see how it is coming up in the things. What is the reuse of a Sabro? All this thing came here. It is again on the context. I'll make you understand everything in the context wherever it is required that you will have a complete knowledge of the application. Whoever is working on the Saviynt, will they have admin access, or there are different access types in it? It is not exactly all the hyper-admin access. Again, I will tell this is completely business requirement. I will tell you there is a client called Campbell Soup, and I used to work for that project. The Campbell Soup manager, he hesitated to give me admin access. He told nobody, I cannot give you any access. I was surprised to see if I don't get any access, I cannot access the application. Finally, he created another user. It is a simulation of your admin access, but not admin access. What does it mean? If you are a father, whatever properties you have, your child can access some of the property, not all the property right. The same way I have the admin access, I can create a simulation access. Let's say support agent 1, support agent 2. It will have most of the access. What is required for a day-to-day basis activity? And it is again completely business requirement. Nobody will give you the admin user access. That is a top user. That is why admin is not given to anybody. How it will happen. If you join a company in your name, there will be an account, and that account they will assign you an admin role. We will talk about that also. No worries. That is a part of this application and training material also. It must be there. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.